Well, welcome to Eye on Business. This is Christine Donalow from Luzerne County Community College. My co-host is Stan Zignick from the University of Scranton. And our guest today is Tina Jesuit from Cancertacular. Welcome, Tina. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
coming.
Christine.
Could you tell us a little about what Cancertacular is and how it got started?
Cancertacular is Northeastern Pennsylvania's neighborhood for childhood cancer. We were started because I am a childhood cancer survivor. At age 11, I was diagnosed with osteosarcoma, which is a bone cancer that affects about 350 people, children, basically preteen, in the United States every year. I had many latent effects of chemo. There are not per se pediatric chemos. There's one. We need more than one chemo to cure pediatric cancer. So I had heart failure, I had a stroke, gout, terrible things, and I survived all of them. I realized that I wouldn't have survived it without the amazing presence in northeastern Pennsylvania. So I started Cancertacular, Northeastern Pennsylvania's neighborhood for childhood cancer, which is basically a bridge between the children and their families and the hospital.
And tell me, like, what does this bridge do?
Well, when you are diagnosed with cancer, regardless of your age, it's devastating. But children typically can't get treated in your home, which the children we serve are in northeastern Pennsylvania. They can't get treated in your home, so they travel to Sloan Kettering, Geisinger, Janet Weiss Children's Hospital, CHOP, AI DuPont in Wilmington, Delaware. I went to Hershey Medical Center. They then form a new family at the hospital. And when they come home, people typically don't understand what it's like to survive cancer and what it's like to not be able to go to school because you're too sick, not be able to go to the movies because your blood counts are too low. Parents can't relate to another parent who may have a child that will lose their life to cancer, or they're afraid to let them go outside and play on the swings because they might get hurt further because this monster is living inside them.
So Cancertacular does what?
Cancertacular has two basic goals. Our ultimate goal is that no child being treated for cancer who lives in northeastern Pennsylvania is ever lonely. We provide a support system. When we raise funds, our monies go to events. Tomorrow we're going to Snow Cove on Montage Mountain. We're taking a group of kids that are affected by cancer, their parents, and their siblings, because siblings can't be forgotten. We make trips to Hershey. We make trips to cook at the Ronald McDonald houses that serve our children. We raise awareness. That's a major deal. We have several events coming up. We run bus trips.
This is bus trips for the cancer survivors or the children that are being treated and their families.
At Snow Cove?
For the events that you said you run.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
They are, gold is the color of childhood cancer. So we have golden children. So once you become a golden child, you have a free ride with Cancertacular. If we have a bus trip to New York City, that child will be free. When we go to Snow Cove, all of the kids that have cancer are free, and so are their siblings. But they're also a fundraiser. So if we have a bus trip to New York and you want to come, you can come, but we want your money.
Well, that's a good way. And so, do kids come with they come with parents, and they
Yes.
could bring whomever they want.
Yes.
It's pretty much open. It's just not the child that has cancer and like a mother or a significant other or that kind of person.
Absolutely.
And so, do they? So that's the kind of programs you offer. And how do people get involved in this program? Do you have like contact information? And what are some of the events that you have done? And kind of, do you have any like success stories or what happened with children that they were so happy about what happened?
Sure. I hope I can remember all of those questions. Contact
Sorry, I did that.
information. We have a Facebook page. Cancertacular Inc. is on Facebook. We have a website, www.cancertacular.org. I'll spell it Cancertacular. And the reason that our name is Cancertacular is because it's obviously a play on the word spectacular. It's important to me that especially children know that a diagnosis of cancer is not the end of the world. Yes, you are going to have chemo, maybe radiation. I had 5 surgeries and 14 months of chemo. But you have to make a choice. Do I make it fun? or do I feel bad for myself? I chose never to feel bad for myself, probably because my parents wouldn't let me. So Cancertacular is just a little reminder that there is life after cancer and there's life during cancer. So what events have we done? We are Northeastern Pennsylvania's neighborhood for childhood cancer. So we have neighborhood meetings at local libraries. We have block parties, very successful. We had 2 of them so far on National Childhood Cancer Awareness Day, which is September 12th. This year we're switching gears. Instead of having a block party, we're focusing on the ultimate passport to the girls' night out. So this year we're remembering childhood cancer, but any women over 21 are welcome. It's September 12th at Zumba Perfect, a Zumba studio in Blakely, 110 Terrace Drive. We're not doing Zumba. We have people coming in to do makeovers, people coming in to do manicures, chair massages, a wine tasting, a grand Leah Sophia party. So basically, anyone over 21, specifically moms of kids with cancer, but anyone is welcome to come. $7, free for moms of kids with cancer. $7 before, $10 at the door. Come to this event, check your worries at the door, and we want to transport you to a different location so you don't have any worries, whether it's cancer, the recession, school, anything.
And this is actually, so it's an event for the some of the mothers of the children with cancer, but also it's a fundraising event for your organization,
Absolutely.
for the general public.
So
Okay.
basically all of our events are run that way. We offer them to the families of the kids with cancer, but again, we want your money, Stan.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to go to the Zumba thing.
Well, actually, you're not welcome, but Christine can definitely come.
And what are some of the other? I know you've done some events at the University of Scranton.
Yes, our signature event is the Royal Dance-tacular. Of course, Royal, the University of Scranton Royals, and Dance-tacular is, again, a play on spectacular.
And Cancertacular.
Yes, yes. More importantly, Cancertacular. But Dance-tacular is a 24-hour event modeled after Penn State's Dance Marathon. Penn State's Dance Marathon is held at University Park, almost exactly when ours is held. They're a week apart this year. It's been held, I want to say 38 years. I'm not sure if I'm exactly right on that, but it's a long time. And all of the monies go to children battling cancer, just like ours does. I was actually treated with the monies raised at Penn State's Dance Marathon when I was having chemo at Hershey Medical Center. So I was a recipient of that. So it's an amazing blessing to be able to give back to the children here where I'm from, my neighborhood for childhood cancer. So the Dance Marathon is 24 hours. We have all kinds of food. Oh, we had too much food last year. We had nachos at 5 a.m. and ice cream at 10 p.m. and pizza at midnight, and it got eaten. They were hungry dancers. So this year we're going to have lots of food, local DJs, local bands. We're kicking around Daddy-O and the Sax Maniacs.
Oh,
we're
wow.
hoping to get them. We have bouncy houses. We have a dunk tank. And it's basically open to the community. The University of Scranton students have teams. But if you want to come and watch the team, participate in the activities, there are things for sale. You pay $5. You can eat all of those crazy things that they're eating for the $5. And basically, it's a marathon and almost like a telethon, but untelevised.
And that's in February.
That's February 19th
So we have
and
a
20th.
big event in September. Then we have a Dance-tacular.
Well, we have, there are
other
many
events
months
too.
in
Okay,
between.
what's
So
going on between?
What's going on in between is, well, September 12th is Passport to the Ultimate Girls Night Out, but also in September, because it is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, we're relaunching our website. Matt Arns, who has a local web designing firm, took us on pro bono, and he's relaunching our website, which will have all kinds of cool things, including links to other local businesses, local kids, agencies, stuff like that, but also a chat room. At 10:30 on Friday, there'll be a sibling of a childhood cancer survivor available. At 10 o'clock on Saturday, I'll be available. At noon on Sunday, my dad will be available. Something that people can relate to that are dealing with cancer. We're also going to have a wish list. The wish list could include anything from a crazy wish like, I want to go to the moon, or please pray for my son because he's having his scans and we're afraid that his cancer is recurring. So that's what our wish list is going to be. amazing, cool things that Matt is doing for us. So that's in September. October 3rd, we're taking a fall foliage trip to the Seneca Lakes wineries. So no kids are coming on that, 21 and older. So everyone is
All of
paying
these
for
fun
that trip.
events.
Yeah, all these fun events. So that is happening October 3rd, going through Back Mountain Charter, going to 6 wineries, brunch at Belhurst Castle. That's almost full. We have a few seats left, but if you're interested in going, you can call, actually. I didn't say the phone number. 570-466-0658. That's 570-466-0658. I'm practicing my telethon skills. So that's October 3rd. October 23rd is a very exciting one. Spooktacular mini golf tournament at Leahy Park. We're actually having a miniature golf tournament run just like a
Regular golf tournament?
Yes, and
with children or with parents?
both.
Oh.
Both. And actually, I believe that Sworn, a local women's networking organization, is going to help us run that.
And the way I got in touch, or the way I met Tina, was I belong to a women's group called Sworn, which is a women's organization for business owners and professional women in Northeast PA. And Tina actually made a presentation, so I said, oh, this is a good thing to let people know about. So that's how we came about. And Sworn is donating their next fundraiser to Cancertacular.
Yeah, and a local businesswoman, Dr. Jamie Knight, is the chair of the organization. So we're actually meeting tonight to lay down the details with Mr. PJ Leahy to get everything under control for that. So there will be basket raffles, miniature golfing, food, Halloweenies, popcorn. So it will be a fun event. After that, before Christmas, we only have one more, which is the Cancertacular Christmas Express to New York City. We do that every year. Typically, we stop at Macy's. First stop is to see Santa. Rockefeller Center, the windows. This year, we're going to take the bus down to South Street Seaport also, because there's caroling and lots of other cool restaurants down there. So always one child is made special. So we do 50-50 raffles on the bus. And that money is spending money for the child when he's in, or she is in New York. I say he because last year it was Jonathan. Cancertacular.
Go ahead.
Cancertacular covered Jonathan and his mom to go to New York, and I schmoozed and played our cancer cards. If anyone doesn't know what a cancer card is, it's something that I keep in my back pocket because I had cancer. So I'm playing this card because I want something from you. So I wanted to get Jonathan backstage. So I played my cancer card and I played Jonathan's cancer card, and he actually got to meet Shrek. Jonathan was standing on the stage. So it was amazing when we saw Shrek on Broadway. So,
And do you have age group? Is there an age limit to the children you work with?
actually, typically we don't go over 18, but in pediatric cancer centers, they treat up to 21.
Oh.
But we've never had anyone over 18.
And what's the average age of children that you usually see?
Young. 3 seems to be the magic number.
Really?
Yeah, which is sad, but it's just a reminder that cancer doesn't have an age. It doesn't really matter. Everyone is open to that. Some actual pediatric cancers form in utero. It's not environmental, nothing that anyone could have done.
Oh.
So
I didn't realize that. I actually thought it was basically older people got it.
yeah, you asked about a success story before. Wilms tumor forms in utero, and Mason D'Antone was our first golden child. He was diagnosed with Wilms tumor at age 3. He's from Pittston. He went down a sliding board and just started writhing in pain. His belly became full of blood. They airlifted him to Geisinger. The tumor took over his entire abdomen. Was 3 at that time, and he just finished kindergarten. So
Oh, how great.
he's amazing. He's an amazing little boy. So there's an amazing success story. And they're not all success stories, unfortunately.
Right. But it's a nice thing to know that there's this type of organization here
Yes.
in Northeast PA.
Yes.
I don't think there are that many throughout the country. Are there that really work with children?
No, especially not survivor-led. That's kind of like our claim to fame. We're survivor-run and survivor-founded. So we know, and amazingly, my family backs me. So we have a survivor running it. My sister is the assistant director, a sibling of a survivor who was just as affected as I was by the cancer. When I was going through chemo, she was 6 years old. She will tell you that Hershey broke her heart. So my dad is very involved. He's our community liaison. Luckily, he's retired. He worked with the community his entire life, and he talks to parents. So he knows firsthand. Even though I deal with parents and get along great with them, I don't know what they went through.
Right.
I know what your kid is going through. I don't know what you went through. So my dad fills that gap.
And
so.
it is any kind of illness in any family. It doesn't matter. Everyone is involved, even
Yes.
relatives and friends.
Yes.
But the sad part of illness is you want to help, but you can't in many ways. And
Absolutely.
they're helpless a lot of times, especially with cancer.
Yes.
Because it's one of those diseases that there's not much you can do except
No.
medically as they
Yeah.
are helping them and stuff like that.
And another dire thing with childhood cancer is follow-up. I mentioned earlier about the latent side effects I've had of chemotherapy, and we've actually gone to Washington, D.C. to lobby for childhood cancer because there are only 39 follow-up clinics for childhood cancer survivors in the U.S. But the grim reality is 2/3 of childhood cancer survivors particularly have side effects of the chemo. But there's only 39 centers for them to go to. So some people don't even know, childhood cancer survivors don't know that there are latent side effects from the chemo. So they think, well, what is wrong with me? What can I do? And they don't know. So that's what we were lobbying for most recently, increased NIH, National Institute of Health funding for long-term survivors, and also research for childhood cancer. Again, 12,500 children are diagnosed with cancer every year. There's only one pediatric chemo, and the survival rates have unfortunately not increased in the past 25 years. So it's grim.
And also, one of the things that your organization provides, you keep saying, is the neighborhood. It's actually that networking, that
Absolutely.
outreach that you could say, there are latent effects to chemo. Because I'm sure
Yes.
when they are diagnosed, nobody's thinking what's going to happen 10 years. They're just focused on what's happening now, and they're probably not even listening to half of what's
Absolutely,
being said.
and I'm sure my parents could speak for that. They wanted to save their little girl. They didn't care what happened 20 years from now, 20 years from then in 1988, and I completely see that. How can you gamble on the fact that my daughter may be sick 20 years from now, but if you don't do anything, she's going to die in 6 months? It's a no-brainer.
Right. Now, of the 39 centers, is there any in Northeast PA or within Pennsylvania?
There are within Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. University of Pennsylvania. Hershey Medical Center surprisingly does not have one. Sloan Kettering has an excellent program, which I'm a part of. Dr. Kevin Effinger founded Living Beyond Cancer. So he's actually a family practice doctor that specializes in adult survivors of childhood cancer. So that's amazing. He has a great breadth of knowledge, and he's a great guy.
Do you see, from you're going to be just launching your website, but do you see just from the networking, from the events, that parents and children are starting to meet each other and develop these friendships and advise each other?
Yes.
And you're just sitting back saying, no, this is great.
Well, we're actually relaunching our website. Our website is there. You can go
Oh,
to it
is?
right
Okay.
now. But actually, today is our second birthday. We turned 2 today. So Cancertacular, it has been around for 2 years, and we're growing. And it took a while to catch on because in northeastern Pennsylvania, people don't like to celebrate illness, and I completely understand that. So it's a new concept, especially when you're highlighting children that are sick. No one wants to be a part of that because it's depressing, and I understand that. So Cancertacular needed to forge its way, and we're growing, and I'm very proud of that. Thanks to people like you.
Well, thanks for coming and letting us know about your program and your events. Why don't you just kind of wrap up and give us some last minute thoughts and
Okay.
contact information?
Awesome. Well, I guess what's most important for people to know about Cancertacular is that our Scranton native Hillary Clinton once wrote a book, It Takes a Village to Raise a Child. Northeastern Pennsylvania is my village, and that is what I vow to give back to. Cancertacular, people from California, France want to make donations, we'll take them, but they will only stay in northeastern Pennsylvania and serve the children of the 11 immediate counties of northeastern Pennsylvania. Our ultimate hope is that no child is lonely during cancer, and no parent has to make the choice. Do I go to work or to put food on the table, or do I hold my child's hand when they're having radiation and chemo? That's what Cancertacular is about. So contact us. Facebook, Cancertacular Inc., www.cancertacular.org. Our address is P.O. Box 52, Archbold, Pennsylvania 18403, and our phone number is 570-466-0658. Odds are you will talk to me, but you may get one of our interns or lovely volunteers, which we have an amazing network of. So thank you to all of you who are watching.
Well, thank you very much for being our guest. And actually, before we started, we were talking about business. We were talking about the University of Scranton and also Luzerne County. You mentioned 2 programs
And
that
I
are coming
wanted
up
to
at
mention
Luzerne.
2 programs that were coming up in September. One is September 17th, and it's called Solutions 2, a job camp. We ran a Solutions 1 in the spring, and basically it's not a job fair where people come and look for work. It's actually a hands-on, help people figure out how to look for work. A lot of people come into our office, I'm in the continuing ed office, and say, I've been out of work for a long time, but I really don't know how to look for a job in this job market. So we're going to do a program with there'll be some social media training, there'll be how to interview, how to write a resume, if I was laid off from a job and I really don't want to look in that same field, there'll be a workshop on how to kind of look to re-career yourself, and some steps and some programs on how to just kind of look at life a different way in what you were doing, and maybe there's the skill sets that you have that can be used in another profession. And that's a free event. It's at Luzerne County Community College on September 17th. They have to call to register because we need a count on how many people are coming. There'll be free breakfast and lunch, so we need the count. So they can just call the college, 1-800-377-LCCC, 3 C's, and ask for the continuing ed office. And the other thing is, because of the fact that casino gambling is big these days in Pennsylvania, the college is starting a program in offering training in poker dealer as well as blackjack dealer training. And that'll be we're going to start that at the end of September.
So we could go and figure out how to win.
Well, we just did an open house, and it was interesting of the people that wanted to do it. And, it's one of the interesting things about this area is it's one of the growing professions. There's a lot of things, there's downsizing of a lot of industry, and gambling in the state of Pennsylvania especially is growing, and there's a lot of money that the state is making off of casinos. So people need jobs, and actually even this morning we noticed that in the Scranton paper that that Mount Airy was looking for people to work at their casino. So we're offering training for that. So if people are interested, they can call the college. Again, it's 1-800-377-LCCC and ask for continuing ed office. But I would like everybody to come to Solutions if they're looking for a job and really are kind of floundering, because it's a big issue these days, and it's a free event. So thanks, Dan, for asking.
No problem. Thank you. And then I guess we should just wrap up.
Well, our guest today was Tina Jesuit from Cancertacular. Co-host is Stan Zygmunt from the University of Scranton, and I'm Christine Donalow from Luzerne County Community College, and this was Eye on Business.